Mm. Hope everybody had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Anybody do anything fun?
I went home this weekend.
Was it weird being home?
Not really.
Hasn't been that long, right? How far away
Yeah.
from?
I'm from Kansas City, so it's like 4 hours away.
Oh, that's a good distance. Yeah.
Mhm.
About how far away I was when I went to college.
Yeah.
Just far enough. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we get started about a couple people need to sign up for Khan Academy, and I've sent you an email with the link. Most of you have already signed up. Sorry, I had some trouble signing the first exercises. It should be worked out now. And there's another set of exercises for next Tuesday.
I don't know where to find the exercises at.
All right, let's walk through that. Hold on a second. No, share my screen. Hold on once. If you could open up Khan Academy. Where am I? There am I. You click on your name in the upper right-hand corner. And there should be a heading that says Learner Home. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
And then hopefully it should list some exercises there. Yes, no?
Is the first one meet the adjective?
Yes, it is.
My first one is intro to adjectives.
Yeah, probably some of you already watched the video. So if you already watched it, I think it'll take it off. After you complete the exercise. Mine looks slightly different from yours, or I'd show it to you. Try clicking on the exercise and see if it lets you in.
I think it's just a video. Or is there something that goes along with it?
There are other exercises. Yeah, you do them one at a time. So once you click on it, then you watch the video and then you go to the next exercise.
Okay.
Do you have more than one? Sometimes I have to update it if somebody joins class.
Yeah, it was like 6.
Also, if you already had an account, hold on, and Fabian, you probably need our course number to sign up. Let me share that. So I sent you a link that you could sign up for, but if you already had an account, you might need the class code. So let me share that here in the chat. So that's the class code to join our grammar class, because you won't be able to see the exercises unless you join the class. Okay, is everybody okay with accessing the exercises? Oh yeah, Fabian, you did already join, I'm sorry. I saw your name on the list. That way, toward the end of class, I'll give you guys some time to work on those, and I'll be in Zoom in case you have questions about it as you're going through it, or you just want to talk about other class issues.
Also, is so the final draft for the resume and cover letter is due tomorrow?
Tomorrow by midnight, yes.
Okay, and yeah, never mind. That works.
Okay. Speaking of cover letter and resume, it's early. I have a few, I went over the drafts, and I have a few tips for you guys.
Is there a way I can like send you my rough draft and you can like help me figure out like email it to you?
Sure.
Okay.
But if you've already turned it in, I can just access it from there if you're wanting me to look at it.
Yeah.
I can download it, make comments on it, and send it to you.
Okay.
Oh I'm sorry. I cannot see you guys talking, so I wasn't sure. Send me an email to remind me to do that. So let's talk about the cover letter, some things I noticed. Now, and you weren't worried about formatting it so much for the shitty first draft, right? But now you're gonna fix it, work on the formatting. So I want to take a look at the basic business letter format. I'm gonna share my screen here. I'm noticing that there's a varying set of formatting that I'm seeing, and it may be that you just weren't worried about it. So this part is optional up here. However you want to do your formatting, you do want to include still your contact information, even on the cover letter, either at the top or the bottom. But when you start the body of the letter, the date goes first, okay? Then the address of the company, and then to whom it may concern, or someone did Miss or Mrs. MS is sufficient. You don't have to do all three. It's either Mr. or MS if you're not sure if the person is married. That covers whether they're married or single. You don't want to offend anybody unnecessarily out of the gate. Also, dates. Some of my international students, Americans write the date with the month first. But regardless of that, I'm seeing a lot of people who are writing the date as numbers. And generally for business format, you want to write out the month. So you would write out September 8th, 2020 on a formal business letter. That makes sense? Let's see, what else?
I've got a question.
Sure.
Okay, so is there a certain amount of paragraphs you want, or as long as we fit what we need to fit, is that fine?
I'd like
Because
at
I
least
have two pretty good paragraphs.
3 paragraphs is probably, 2 is going to seem too short to them. If you can divide those 2 paragraphs into 3, if you have a
Okay.
new topic in one of them, or if you want to, we can look it over at the end of class and see. Or you can do
All right.
something like hit the highlights with the bullet points like they have here. Then when you get to the end, you have the closing and your name. Another thing, a lot of people are forgetting to put contact information in that last paragraph or do a call to action. So now you want to add that in your revision. Yeah, if you aren't familiar, in Europe, they tend to write the date like this. So they would write today's date 8. I guess it would be 8/8. No, let's pretend it's tomorrow. So they'd have the day, then they'd have the month, then they'd have the year. Which my recommendation is if you're applying for an American company, write it the American way. And if you're applying for an international company, you're going to do the European version. Okay. But pretty much for all business letters, you want it to be spelled out. It's more formal. Okay, so now make sure your formatting is correct. Remember, that's one of the things you do in the editing and proofreading stage. For formal business writing, no contractions. An easy way to search is just search for apostrophes, and if it's not a possessive, a contraction is 2 words basically that have been squished together and some letters have been dropped, right? So don't is do not, but basically they put it together and took out a letter and the apostrophe goes where the letter used to be. But don't use contractions in business or academic writing. You can use it in informal writing. Our next paper will be an informal essay. You can use contractions. Also, some of the word choice, take a look. Some of it's a little bit to a degree where the word choice seems a little strange, where like, if, I'm thrilled to find this job. You want to sound passionate, but at the same time, sort of business-like. Does that make sense? So if you have, check your wording to make sure it's just not too over the top. Okay. Let's see. About Miss versus Mrs. No contractions. Check your word choice. Do you guys have questions about it now that you have the draft done? About formatting or? Good. Well, the resume, some of you, now that you have your basics down, you can expand. Don't forget, some of you are summarizing too much, like under the bullet points. So you'll say, I worked for Walmart, and you're like, I checked people out and stocked. And you'll have it all in one line. You really need to divide those into individual tasks, sort of to highlight each one more. If that makes sense, makes it look a little more impressive. Okay? And don't forget everything that you've done. Sometimes you underestimate, if you did do stocking or you did deal with customers or solve problems or customer service, especially if the job is calling for that. All right, questions? The thing I want to work on today is flow. So one of the things that you can do is have somebody read the paper aloud to you, and it's really helpful to spot problem areas because they're going to read it fresh. They won't have, you emphasize the right words and the right phrases where they're supposed to be in your mind, but we don't, as the audience, have those emphasis, right? So what I'd like you to do is get a partner and open up your document, share it with each other, and then read them to each other. And as you're going along, you should be able to So let me put the instructions up here so I don't confuse everybody too much. Because this will show if there's any problem with sentence flow or any bumpy areas in the sentences. So you're going to open your cover letter in Word. And remember, I showed you in Word, you have that share button at the top. So exchange emails, and if you both click on it, you can look at it at the same time. So they can be reading it to you, and you can mark any areas where they're stumbling or having problems, okay? And then that's some places where you maybe either need to combine sentences or divide them or choose different words or add some transitions. Question? So you're basically gonna open your document, your cover letter. We'll work on that because it's got most of the sentence flow going on in it. And each of you take turns reading it. You read the other person's letter to them. While they mark, you can use the highlight tool if you hear them having problems to mark any areas that need work. Any questions about what I'm asking you to do? All right, I'm going to put you in the groups. And then I'll give you a heads up about a minute before we close everything down. In the breakout rooms. It's just a really nice way to find problem areas in any kind of writing that you do. Okay, you've been invited to join. Reagan and Chloe, are you there? Are you guys working together?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I was doing Khan Academy and I didn't realize I needed to join breakout room.
That's okay.
Sorry. Yes, I apologize. My camera's off because it's so dark in here. You can't even see me anyway. So I'll be in the breakout room. Thank you.
Sure.